What up, my peeps? It's so dark in here, huh? Gotta keep my head up to the light. I just ate some bomb food, Cuban food, at the spot that I usually go to once a week. And, yeah, I'm like, I was gonna go out, but I'm like, dude, that food got me the itis. Tired. So I'm here, playing some keys. I was just messing with a little chord progression. I was like, I'm gonna go live. Hang out with my people. What up, man? Uh, Actually, it's kind of like. Where do we go? But I was changing the melody. What was it? Bet you don't know what song that's from. What's this song? Do you get paid by tax dollars? Do you get paid by tax dollars? Do you get paid by tax dollars? Damn it! How that? That's a banger, bro. That song's a banger. Dude, I'm so full, man. I ate way too much food. Every time I go there, man, I'm gonna get fat going there. Every time I go, I eat way too much. But hey, I hear chicks dig fat guys, you know what I'm saying? Only if they have baller bellies, though. Only if they're, you know, wealthy. And then they're like, yeah, I like that. I like a belly, you know? What do they say? Gangsters don't dance, they get fat and move to Miami? It's true. And rich and fat, that's what it is. I hate that I have to touch this every time I want to read what you guys are saying. Oh damn, there's actually some people in here. What do you know? You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming and saying hello. I'm just chilling at the house. That's where I spend most of my time. I went hiking yesterday. It was nice with a group of friends. And we went to Griffith Park, and they have like an abandoned zoo, which is a cool little area. There's a lot of people, young people. I like to be around young people, you know. And yeah, it was fun. Oh, thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I want to make something with this progression too. How's it go? I don't know why I love those sad, happy, sad chords. You don't know what they are as far as emotions go. But I'm always gravitating towards those. Because there's major chords and then there's minor chords, right? And then you can add this color or extension to it. So like a major chord would be this. It sounds happy, right? It's like, oh, I've accomplished something. I got out of bed. What do you know? It's a major chord. And you can create extensions on those, which means color tones or things. It's still going to be a major chord. Like, could be, right? It's all the same chord as a major chord. And you could make that minor, right? So it sounds cool sometimes when you go from major to minor chords, you know? And you can add those same extensions and colors to the minor chords. It's just a major chord or a minor chord with some weird extension on it. That's it. So with this chord progression, it's a major chord. Then it's it's actually a diminished chord, which is it's in between major and minor. It's however you look at it, I guess. Then it goes into a minor chord, then a major chord, back to a major chord. If you don't know anything about music, it probably sound like I'm speaking Japanese. Japanese! You could speak Spanish. You could speak English. Japanese! Let me see if I can read some of what you guys are saying, because I can't read. You have an understanding of music that is new to me. Oh yeah, man, no problem, man. Yeah, I think and maybe it's because I've done music my whole life. It's easy for me to grasp and comprehend. So I take it for granted in the sense of that other people can understand what I'm saying. But once I've trimmed all the fat in my knowledge, like because there's so much, and then once you kind of get perspective and you kind of see it for what it is, it seems easy, a lot easier because you're like, damn, like I was just overwhelmed with all of the possibilities. And I think with anything in life, when we don't know something, when like that's where fear is. Fear is in the unknown, and I think part of that is in life with society and stuff. People run around and they don't know shit, but they talk like they know what they're talking about, and so you kind of be like, all right, well they know what they're talking about, so I'm gonna be afraid to talk about what I know, even if it's a little bit. Like I have the best conversations with people. I think my camera's over there, or it's over there. It's over there. I have good conversation with people that I meet that are strangers when I'm like just super honest. Like they're like, yeah, I saw this band. They're like, have you ever heard of so and so? And it's like, in the past I might have been like, oh yeah, yeah, like you want them to like you, so you'll be like, yeah, I know that band. But now I'm like, if I don't know a band, I'll be like, no, I don't know who that is. Who is it? And you learn some shit, and then you also can kind of develop this like sense of when people are full of shit too, man. Because people just talk like they know what they're talking about, but then if you just really listen to them, they don't know what they're talking about. Especially in like the politics world, people are so emotionally driven that they're like, well, so and so said, and that made me feel like this, when they really don't know what they're talking about. But I don't know why music always kind of brings me that filter through life where I can see the commonalities, if you will, in music. Like music is a reflection of everything, kind of, because it's all about balance and that golden ratio of symmetry and pattern. And like I realize within myself, like when I'm trying to become more self-aware, and in myself I have patterns, I have melodies, I have all these things of shapes or whatever, like, and it's all patterns. And if you want to break bad habit or bad patterns, and your first step is to be aware of it. And once you're aware of it, then that means something can change. But if you're just ignorant, then it'll never change because it'll just always happen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What up, Papico? Papico Mackenzie Cunningham. Mackenzie Cunningham. Sounds like a successful name. Just finished editing the video. Which video? Oh, Mike D. I see. You're editing the video. That's what's up. Vaping on that blend or strain? No, this is not weed, actually. I stopped smoking weed. I used to smoke weed every day. And then, yeah, just my desire to smoke it kind of went away. But I smoked for like definitely over 10 years. All day, every day. Smoke blunts. And sometimes I'm like, damn, you know what? I'd like to smoke, but then I don't have any, or I'm just like, I don't want to spend the money. And it's just not worth it. I'm like, I don't need to. I got the fire going. It's totally unnecessary because it's hot. I don't need it, but it's a vibe. 25 years blazing, exactly. How old are you, bro? You're not that old. Would you start smoking when you were 6? Really? I wouldn't have guessed that you were 41. I would have guessed that you were like maybe 31. But then again, I haven't really seen you. I've only heard you. And yeah. Check out San. Oh, look who it is. It's my Uncle Riggs. That last chord sums it up. It's all messed up. Just like my Uncle Riggs. I always, one thing my Uncle Riggs said once, and I use it all the time. But I kind of remixed it because he'd say, "You know what's great about you?" And I'd say, "What?" And he'd say, "Nothing." But now, when like say a musician plays on the stage and they play a solo or something, they're like, and they come off the stage and they're feeling themselves. They do their little Obama trot off the plane, you know. Then you're like, "Oh man, you know what's great about that solo?" And they're like, "What?" And you're like, "I don't know. I'm asking. It's a question. Do you know what's great about that?" Because I don't. No, but it works in all many ways. If you're on a first date, perhaps, and she's full of herself, she thinks she's the hottest thing ever. You know, you're like, "You know what's great about you?" And she's like, "What?" And you say, "I'm asking." And then you give the three blinks. You could say that to the cops, San Joaquin. "You know what's great about what you do, officer?" "What's that?" Or, "Yeah, I don't know. I'm asking." What a dick. I keep putting the phone back and then I have to read. My con is like porn videos. Who wants to see the camera guy? That's funny. I want to dabble in some more stuff where I'm not feeling like I gotta like show myself all the time, you know? Because like as an artist, I've been conditioned and trained to think that I have to like sell myself. But reality is that the music I make is what I want to feature more so than me, you know? But I want to be me along the way. And I think when people are invested in who you are, because, you know, it's like you can think that talent or skill or whatever is the most important thing, but character, character is more important than all of that. And it's true. And that's the problem with Hollywood is people idolize talent or, you know, the way things look and they think that they're great people, but they're not. They're actually shitty people with talent. And I just want to make sure that what's the word? Encompass or embody, you know, at least have a clean slate on my end where I can. That's a good comeback. what did you? What age did you start your career? I out the womb. That's when I started my career. People are like, "When? How did you get into music?" I'm like, "I didn't get into music. Music is in me." That's why when people want to hire me for an hour or whatever, it's like they're hiring somebody who invested their whole life into that hour to prepare for that hour. So it's not like, you know, you're getting an hour. You're getting it's like a doctor, you know. He went to school for it. He invested in that school, and that's what you're paying for, his investments. Along the way sounds like a good song. Yeah, it could be, anything could be a song. That's the key that I gotta always remind myself is that I don't need to try so hard to make good songs, but just take anything. Like take anything that could be a song, because take anything could be about a klepto, you know, someone who steals shit. Take anything. I don't know. See, anything could be about anything. I'm concerned about the nicotine in your vape. Every time I see you hit it, the whisper lounge, I get worried. Well, how far does worry get you in life? All it does is make you suffer. That's it. We need to see the real you. Try being you. And maybe a little bit of another guy. And maybe even a little bit of women too. I don't think I'm going to be a woman. Rather be a man. It's how I was designed. I was built that way. So if I was being a woman, it would be only because I was living in the spirit and mindset and nature of my mother, because that's the woman that was in my life. And if I was a woman, it would be because I resented my mother, and I don't. Therefore, I'm a man. My new amigo Trevor, I must go to bed. I am 41 years old and I'm an old man now. I have public officials to record in the morning. I'll be in Los Angeles tomorrow. Oh, that's what's up, man. We're out in Los Angeles, bro. One day, I wanna come on your little extravaganza while you shoot and witness this. Cause I feel confident. Like if a cop approached me after watching all these videos, that I know exactly how to respond and how to react. And most of the times, saying nothing is really the best thing you can do. Just look at them. Be like, am I being detained, sir? I'm just exercising my First Amendment activity. Am I in a private space or am I in a public space? Because the sidewalk looks public. Oh, I didn't know that private property actually funded these light poles. Because I thought the city funded that, and if it's the city, that means it's my tax-paying dollars that created this situation here for me to stand. So, do you have any questions, officer? Any more questions? I don't answer questions. Yeah, man. What part of LA are you going to be in? I don't answer questions. Sorry. It's actually you have to answer my questions because you are a public servant and you work for me until I commit a crime. And I haven't committed a crime. And if I have committed a crime, what's the articulable? Can you articulate that suspicion for me, please? I'm ready, bro. Ready for the streets. My neighbor says rushing leads to mistakes. Take your time. Are you unable to access the common sense parts of your brain, officer? What does it look like I am doing in your eyes, in your own words? Yeah. Are your emotions skewing your logic to be able to see that I'm not committing a crime here? Or do you feel like I'm committing a crime? Because reality is different than your emotions. Do you feel like, or is it? Thank you. You're dismissed. Thank you. You can't dismiss me. Actually, my tax dollars pay your salary, so I can dismiss you. Thank you. You're dismissed. I don't know why that's so funny. Cops do get emotional. That's what makes them. Well, the wrong cops get emotional. I would think that if you were training to be a cop, it would be like the army in some sense, where you're overcoming your emotions and you're being able to separate yourself and, as San Joaquin may say, de-escalate the situation, not escalate it with your emotions. San Fernando, like the valley, like San Fernando Valley. So you start in one place and then you kind of just take a tour for the day and go to different public places, set a little plan about where you're going to go, because that sounds fun. You should, you know what I just ordered? I just ordered on Amazon an electric scooter because right now I don't have a car and I'm always Ubering. So I got on Amazon, I got spent $500 on this scooter that goes like 18 miles and like 15 miles an hour. And it's like those bird scooters that you rent, you know? But I bought one because I've always wanted to just have one. I'm meeting up with News Now California. Oh, I love that guy. That guy's awesome. And I really see opportunity in what you guys are doing, in what I do with music, because content needs to have original things, you know, especially to be, you know, lucrative and make money in it. Like we provide a service for each other in a sense, because you're creating a content that my music needs. My music needs visuals, you know, and your visuals need music. And so to create, because I can create sound effects and all sorts of different types of sound design type stuff, and I just have always envisioned doing that. And I like that you guys are respectful with what you do, and that you kind of make it obvious about what the officers are doing by not making it about you. You know, you kind of make it about them, and you're respectful. And so, I don't know. I can see it being later on Netflix, or even if you don't even need Netflix, you create your own documentary about the system and how, you know, good and evil exists everywhere, and that no matter what field you're in, there's good and there's bad. You know. You found us through our dedication. You touched our hearts. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I found you and I saw opportunity. I'm like, well, you know, make a little remix of this guy's what he's saying. Put some music to it. I did that for another buddy, another guy I found online, Jesse Lee Peterson, who I told you about, and now we're selling it on iTunes. And I didn't expect that, but I created a bunch of music for him, and then eventually, got like 10 songs or so, and out of it, and then now put it on iTunes. And yeah, it's possible to create opportunities with people, because I'm not trying to chase business. I just want to create and build with other creatives, and the business will come. And the business can be created within your own infrastructure. You don't need to be waiting around for someone to come change your life, or like Netflix, for instance. You don't need Netflix. You could just create your own documentary right there, and if Netflix decides to pick it up, sweet, cool. Exactly. And I'm kind of fairly new into really diving into what socialism and capitalism and all those things really mean. And I found out what those things mean just based off of realizing in life that it's good and evil. And having that understanding of good and evil and right and wrong and morals and values and believing in God, that leads you to understanding those things on a deeper level, because I don't need to know my history. I don't need to know the percentages and the stats and all these things about stuff, because the people that kind of have that word salad where they're dropping like parroted kind of like things, they're never the ones that really get, they don't get the foundation. It's like music. I always relate it to music, man. You can either mimic and play something you heard, or you can understand what you're doing and recreate it and make it do different things, you know? And it's the same. It's just like any other language of communication or like understanding something solid. And I feel like I've said this before, but like computers are based off of binary code, which is zeros and ones, right? Which is good and evil. Basically, it's on or off. It's opposites, polar opposites. So if you're gonna have socialism and capitalism, one of them's good and one of them's bad. So what? Which one is that? I never want to be a victim. Of in the past when I've had anger that I didn't even realize I had, and how I had resentments and stuff like that. It was way more easier for me to be to blame and feel like a victim of certain situations, and when I overcame that anger and forgave and everything. And as a man, I just never want to be a victim to life. I want to always have only the opportunity to overcome that, and be strong from it, and really like make those habits to be a provider, so that one day when I have a family or I meet a wife, whatever, I can really provide, not just financially, because it's not just about providing finances, it's about providing solutions and providing peace. And when we have anger, we can't provide those things. We're just fueling the fire. And women are naturally more emotional and men are naturally more logical. It's just the facts. It's not like men are better or women are better. It's just the order of life, which is true. Difference between skeptics and is reason and ethics. Spoken like a true capitalist. Well, it makes sense to me to want to like build and own your own. Because what trips me out too is that like I create value from nothing, right? I can play something or make something, and it becomes valuable depending on who sees the value, who wants it, who uses it, whatever, right? And then I take that value I created, and the government takes a big percentage of that. When I pay my tax dollars, when I purchase things, if I gotta go buy a drink or buy something at the store, I'm paying sales tax on that. That means I'm paying taxes. So why are they taking money from the value I created? I generated that value, and I don't owe them shit. And I get it in the sense of our police stations. That's why San Joaquin transparency, he makes a good point. That's what attracts me to those things is like putting it in check and being like, oh, wait a second, The only reason why the police exist, the firefighters exist, the libraries, the post offices, anything that is a public place exists is because our tax dollars, that's why they're taking half of our money, is so that those can be possible. So for them to come and act like the attitude like they control us and that they're in charge of us, it's like, nah, I create this value and you take a percentage of that so that your job can be possible. So until I'm a criminal and have a criminal act, you can't treat me like that. Don't act like you're better than me. And that's the whole thing about it that I resonate with. It's like, yo, we're equals until I am a criminal. So don't try that bullshit on me. And what they don't want is to people to wake up and realize that's why America is so awesome, because there's no other countries that operate the way America does. And people that say, you know, it's systemic racism and all these things, it's like that's that victim mentality of feeling like that you can't overcome and do things for yourself. Because I know exactly what that feels like, because I used to feel that way. I used to blame everybody else for shit. And now I don't have any excuses. And when we don't have any excuses, because if it is a systemic racism issue, right, then why are there people who are powerful of all races in America? Why are there people? Why does Oprah exist? Why does, you know, Spike Lee exist? He had a dream to go become a director and did it, even though he's a race hustler, and that he uses those ideologies to like to keep people down. Well, I see it clearly, and I can see more clearly when I don't have anger, when I'm able to just like discern and see it for what it is, and I don't have a feeling about it. I'm not like judging people or situations where I like feel like a woman, where I'm judging. I'm like, oh, that made me feel like this. I'm just like seeing it for what it is. Your contracts mean nothing without audit authority. Whose authority are you willing to use? What does that mean? Co-cash is taxation is legitimate within the confines of the original contract. See, there's certain intellectuality that I'm like, okay. That's why lawyers are evil, because they go in this gray area and they can like intellectualize anything and make you think that what you're doing is right when it's actually wrong. Adam Kokesh. No, I haven't. Adam Cokehead? Minarchy versus anarchy. I'm assuming that minarchy is structure and anarchy is chaos. He speaks like me? Really? I don't even know how I speak. Because I grew up put in special ed classes. I wasn't in regular school ever since like fourth grade. I started getting headaches, and so they stuck me in these classes, and I fell behind, and I just moved along in the school system, and they stuck me in these classes. I never got an education, and so I was never educated in the sense of most people. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't know because I didn't learn. But in that, I feel thankful because everything that I have learned and that I know now has been for myself. It hasn't been because someone told me I had to learn, or this is the way the world is, or anything about that. It's just coming to my own realizations. And so I feel more solid in the way I think. And with that, I can be more confident in when I say certain things to people. Because I'm not afraid to say when I don't know anything either. Like, if I don't know, I don't know. And I think it's more powerful to acknowledge when you don't know something, because then you can learn, as opposed to trying to appear like a know-it-all. The school system is whack, for sure. Yes, all of us possess natural authority. Are you a redhead or do you have light brown hair? Can't see well. I don't know. Sometimes I say I have golden hair. Okay? Golden hair. It's my authority kicking in right there. But it is, my beard tends to run more red than my hair. but it does have red tones. I'm red toned for sure. But if I met like a true redhead, I can tell that I don't have the same hair. I found you because Jesse Lee Peterson says you he black on his channel. He black. I know it's pretty funny. What do we search for on iTunes to find your music? Oh, just search my name, Trevor Wesley. Trevor Wesley on Spotify, iTunes, and wherever you may find. Did you guys see the He Black video? Come on now. I uploaded it to my channel. Damn it, Bobby. Here, I'll play it. Yeah, I haven't sold my soul. I've walked away from a lot of situations just because it didn't feel right.
Somebody say open up a dance studio might be a better move. So what are you going to do? Borrow one of his dancer's outfit, a tutu and his slippers, prance around the stage doing pirouettes?
I asked where he going, he tell me where he been. A moment that will be ever remembered. I am an Oreo cookie. White on the inside, black on the outside. Isn't that amazing? At one time in life, I was black on the inside and black on the outside. Hey, girl. You black. You black. It's amazing. You black. You black. You black. I'm black and slow. I don't know. You black. I am not African American. I don't have an afro. There are no African drums beating in my chest. The American good times playing in my heart. Born on a plantation in Alabama. Grew up under the Jim Crow laws. Worked the fields, worked the plantation. Black as the ace of spades. But 100% American. Now I'm white on the inside. Hey, girl. You black. You black.
He black. And yeah, I don't think it's offensive, but who am I to say? I'm white, right? I'm white, so I have no room to speak. Yeah. No, but you know what I realize is, like, since we're born, we're brainwashed through society. And since, like, the power of forgiveness, man, is so powerful, and it's opened my eyes so much to seeing things a different way, because I don't have any biased, like, opinions or emotions that are, like, getting in my way about anything. I'm just kind of existing and present with the moment. And so, like, when I was a kid, I used to like that movie, The Three Ninjas. You ever seen that movie? And so I watched it the other night. I was like, oh shit, Three Ninjas, I'm gonna watch it. And so I watched it, and I realized that they make the dad in that, just like all other movies, they always position the narrative to make the father not care about the kids, and that the mother works really hard as a mom at home, and the dad's working and he never has time for the kids, and he's like this asshole dad. And I totally saw through it, like when you're a kid and you watch that, you never like see it that way. You just see the movie, and so you form this this idea about dads, and then you kind of resent your own dad because you kind of see your life through the filter. And then you have a mom that like most of the time, moms are more emotional, so they're gonna like be more outward. They wear their heart on their sleeve and say what they feel all the time. And if they feel a certain way about your dad, they're gonna be more outspoken about it. And your dad's kind of gonna be more like the peacemaker that doesn't really say much, depending on your dad. But my dad, he never like talked bad like about my mom, but my mom talked about my dad, like and it kind of felt like more of a friendship. And so my point is, watching the Three Ninjas movie, I just realized how many movies do the exact same thing. Like they set kids up to kind of live through this filter, and they slowly get this resentment because they think, well, that's just the way it is, like, well, that's the way dads are, and yeah, moms, and then they create this like idea that moms are like, they have it so much harder than dads, and it creates this imbalance in like society, man. And so not having anger and the forgiveness, everything kind of lets you take a step back and see things for what they are more, like, because I never saw movies that way. And it's like it's disappointing, man, because I like that movie, but then it's like kind of hard to like appreciate it, because you're like, well, what else are they throwing at me that they're trying to like do some wizardry and manipulate me to think some sort of way. And so with like, they do that on all levels, man, with like the race stuff, with the media, with everything. They're trying to, they get these politicians in there that are more emotional. Like, they'll try to get people, they'll target people that are emotional, and they'll say certain things that make people feel like they feel that way, and they're going to be like, oh, it's like Hillary Clinton when she's like, oh, I carry hot sauce in my bag. It's like, I can see and a lot of people see what she's doing. Like, you're just trying to play off the emotions, like you're cool, and so vote for me because I'm cool, as opposed to like walking the walk of being like a decent human being. But that's just one example, and there's so many of them. It's insane. So I woke up, man, out of that crap. And then along the way, I can't say I lost friends, but I can say I lost friends because I don't hear from people anymore. And I just realized that if I stopped continuing a relationship, that the relationship didn't exist. And I just get this sense that because I'm more outspoken and because I say what I think, and I'm not afraid to say it, certain people just don't want to be associated with me. But that's not like, part of that could be a story in my own head, but sometimes when you just know something, you just kind of know, because it's evident to me when it's like, when I can have a conversation with people and I don't have anger, they get angry because I'm not mad. And most people want to get a reaction out of you, and they if you disagree with them and you don't get angry, but you say what you think and you say it in a kind way, but just the truth, people don't like that. And I just noticed since I've been doing that more, it's opening a doorway for the right people in my life to be in my life, and to love me for me, and to accept me, and not love me because I'm being controlled, Because if you really think about it, people only love you, a lot of people only love you when you agree with them. And that's a form of control. So if you disagree with them, they're not going to like you anymore. And I'm learning that if people don't like me because I disagree with them, then they never liked me. They only liked my agreeingness. It had nothing to do with me. It's just an idea that they like, So it can be tough because you got to have something, The fear comes from thinking you're going to lose something. You think, I'm going to lose this person. They're not going to like me. Well, if I said this and I really believe it to be true and I say it, they're not going to like me anymore. So we're afraid of losing them, or afraid of losing the way they see us, so we think that we have to protect how we're seen because we fear being judged. And when we can just let all that shit go, we don't, we can actually start living. And ever since I was a kid, it's so weird. I've always had to envision, like, because one thing I did notice in movies is like actors and certain people, they were confident and they were free, and they would say what they wanted to say. Like the lead character would always be the leader, or whatever. And like there's certain qualities you admire. And it's like Kanye, like he can say some crazy stuff, sure, but it doesn't mean that I don't like him. I actually like him because of that. And I think a lot of people do because there's something about him that doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to be me no matter what. And I think all of us just want to obtain that. We just want to, like, be ourselves. And I think that opens the doorway for the right people to be in our life. I don't mean to keep trolling on about it, but I get passionate, Not really passionate, just vocal about it, I guess. Because passionate isn't the way to be. Because passionate is emotional. If you look up the definition of passionate, it means barely in control of emotions. And it's not like I'm barely in control of my emotions. I'm just, so that's another thing society does. They train us to be like, what's your passion? What are you passionate about? What are you barely in control of your emotions about? Well, this thing's like not loading. There's this exercise my friend showed me a long time ago, and I haven't practiced in a while, but it's pretty awesome. And it goes like this. There's a couple of them. One of them, it starts like this, right? It goes, so the progression is this. So from those chord progressions, you can create, then there's this one. And then from there, you create this one. that, there's this one. And then from there, you can go into these other, take it to different places. It's about your finger movements with it, you know? So there's this, you go. So I remember what I was doing, was it? What is that? That's Yuletide carols being sung by a choir and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows. And then I started creating my own out of them, so I figured this little finger movement with it, which was that's so hard to do. I haven't done it in a while. How's it go? Why is it so hard? Ow. I gotta shut this fire off. It's too hot. I'm dying. I'm dying. Plus, I think I'm gonna get the hell off of here. There is no freedom without law. And laws are created from the majority of people who vote for them, right? It's not like the government is in control and they're like, well, we're gonna say this, you know? We vote, we the people. We hire you, government, to listen to us. But people think that the government is in control, but they're not. Well, that's not the way laws are made now, but it should be. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that the people elect the sheriff, the people elect the government, the powers that be, and that we decide what the laws are. We decide. That's what voting is for. That's why we vote, to pass laws. But then there's corruption, and they lie. But I didn't go to school about that stuff. I don't study it. But the ideology and the simplicity of it is pretty basic and simple once you really understand. At least that's how I see it. Is it makes total sense. That's why we're free. That's why America wins. Yeah, they died. They died! You have a push too? I was going to get that a while back, but I ended up not getting it. I wanted to get it. My favorite or some of my favorite composers. See, I'm not a history guy. I like certain producers and certain, and they're all composers. But when I think composer, I think of like Hans Zimmer or someone. Some, um, when I was younger, I used to like Scott Joplin because he did maple like the ragtime stuff, and so I learned the Maple Leaf Rag song. I like Bill Evans. He's cool. I like Carlos Antonio Carlos Jobim. He like was big in defining the Brazilian music, and Nat King Cole's awesome. In the newer kind of age, I love like Dr. Dre's production or Pharrell, the Neptunes. Um, yeah, like lots of different things, I guess. Ray Manzarek. I don't know if I've heard that. Yeah, the Beatles. See, my mom always played the jazz stuff. She played like Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald and Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, and that kind of like feel good times. And my dad always listened to the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. And I grew up in LA, so I always heard K Earth 101. I always heard Kiss FM. I heard a lot of pop music. And so there's certain elements that I love in everything, and that's why I kind of make the music I make is because I just kind of add the things that I like to hear. And then people are like, "What kind of music is that?" You know? And it's well, it's the kind of music I like to make, I guess. And then there was a while I really liked Pink Floyd. I thought they were really cool. The Beach Boys were awesome. They had really good harmonies and very simple things, but they created to be complicated. Yeah, Girl from Ipanema is a good song. Doing it with the one hand jam with my left hand. Oh, but I watch her so sadly. How can I tell her I love her? Yes, I would give my heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at me. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of here, man. I ate food, Cuban food. It's really bomb. There's a garlic chicken with onions, and there's garlic sauce you pour on top, and then lemons, and then rice and black beans, and then a side of plantains, and I just like mixed it all together. I always debone it first, get the bones out of my way, pour it all together, and I eat it. And it's winning, and I ate way too much, and now I'm fat. Now I'm like ready to go lay down. Maybe watch some San Joaquin Transparency, some of those cop videos. Have you seen those First Amendment audits? They're pretty funny. But yeah, I know. I'm trying to go to bed early so I can get my clock back because I have been staying up all night, and then daytime comes and I'm tired all day, and then I stay up all night. It's the worst. I didn't realize how the sleep clock can really mess with you. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, chatting, being supportive of the music I make, and hanging out with me. So I'm here by myself most of the time, so it's nice to hop on here and instantly be able to talk with my friends and connect with you guys. So Much love, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I want to stream more often, especially when I'm creating stuff. Maybe in my next video I'm editing or something, I'll hop live and you guys can watch me do it. Yeah, if you guys ever have any questions, holler at me. If you're on Instagram, I'm on Instagram, and I always reply to messages. So appreciate it. Take care, you guys. Much love.